Hi, I'm Pauline Zaldonis, and I'm the Open Data Coordinator at the Connecticut Office of Policy and Management. And today I'm going to show you how to make a chart on the Connecticut Open Data Portal. So anyone can make a chart on the portal. You just need to have an account. And anyone can create an account on the portal. All you have to do is click the little sign in button in the top right of the screen. And if you don't have an account yet, you can use this sign up link here to create an account. Or if you do have an account, you can enter your username and your password and just click sign in. So I have an idea for a data set that we can use to make a chart. So I'm just going to pull that up. All right, so here we go. So this is the data set that we'll use in the demo today. It's a data set that lists all the different assets on the Open Data Portal. So all the data sets, maps, data stories, charts, all the different types of asset that we have here on the portal. And before we start making a chart, we can just do a very quick look through the data set landing page to make sure we understand what the data set's about. And we might get some ideas for things that we want to look at in a chart. So I'll open up the dataset description here at the top, and we can see here that it says this dataset includes all public assets that are published on data.ct.gov. I'm going to scroll further down, and here we can see that the data is published by the Office of Policy and Management. We can see that it's updated on a daily basis. Keep scrolling down, and here we can see a list of all the columns that are in the dataset. And we can see a short description for each of the columns. So it looks like the data here has basically metadata about the data published on the portal, things like the asset name, a description, the owner, the type of asset, the category of data, tags, things like that. So I think we have a basic understanding of what this data is about, and we're ready to make a chart. So to get started, we'll click this action button at the top right of the screen, and we'll select visualize and create, and we'll select visualize and create visualization. So this will bring us to the data visualization tool that's built into the Open Data Portal platform. And we can see here, we can make a couple different types of charts based on these icons up top. We can make bar chart, column chart, pie chart, a line graph or timeline chart. There's a map option. So there's a couple different types of charts that we can make with this tool. And over here on the left, we can see this is where we can select our data and configure the chart. So right in the middle of the screen, we can see a message that says we can get started with this tool by selecting a chart type up top or selecting a dimension and measure over here on the left to view. So I think we can just get started by selecting a chart type, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to select the bar chart option. Okay, and it automatically made a chart for us. So we can see it looks like it's showing the count of rows by agency. So basically, this is showing us how many assets are being published on the Open Data Portal by agency. Just scoot this over a little bit. All right, and we can see here that the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has the most assets with 298, and then followed by Yukon with 217. So that's pretty interesting. Just looking at this, I have a few questions. Kind of curious about the types of assets that agencies are publishing. Are they publishing, a bunch of maps or charts? Are they publishing data sets? So to answer this question, we can get at it in a couple of different ways. One thing we can do is create a stacked bar chart that shows us the types of assets being published, and then we can get a better sense of the makeup of each of the types of assets by agency. So to do this, we'll go over here to the panel on the left, and we will select Group Dimension Values. And from the menu here, we can select Type, which represents the type of assets. All right, so the chart is now showing us the assets by type, which is good, but actually it's pretty hard to understand this data. We can't really see all the agencies. So I'm going to go over here to Bar Display Options, and I'm going to select Stacked. Okay, that looks a lot better. I'm going to open up the legend so we can see what all these different colors mean. So now we can see here that Deep and Yukon have a lot of this dark blue color, which represents federated assets from other websites. And they have a relatively smaller number of data sets, which are represented by the orange color here. So a lot of times when I'm thinking about assets on the Open Data Portal, I'm especially interested in the data sets compared to the other types of assets. So what if we wanted to know about the number of data sets only by agency instead of all the other different types of assets? So let's look at that next. So to get at this, I'm going to clear the group dimension value dropdown that we added. So now we're just back to the blue bars here. And we can use the filter menu at the top right corner here. So I'm going to click that and click Add Filter. I'm going to select Type for the type of assets. And from here, I'm going to select Dataset. And I'm going to hit Apply. All right, so you can see here that the chart automatically filtered. So now it's just showing us the number of data sets published on the Open Data Portal by agency. So the order changed. Now we can see that the Department of Public Health actually has the most data sets with 99 data sets, followed by the Office of Policy and Management with 82, followed by Department of Consumer Protection with 68, and so on. So I think this is a pretty interesting chart. It tells us more about which agencies are publishing data sets on the portal. So let's go ahead and put some finishing touches on the chart. So if we click the little axis icon here on the left, we can customize the axis. I don't really think we need to make any changes to the scale, so I'll minimize that. We have the option to change the way the data is sorted. You could change it to smallest to largest, or alphabetically by label. I think largest to smallest by value is probably makes the most sense for this example, so we can keep it at that. Let's see. And next, if we click this little droplet icon, we can change the presentation of the chart. For example, we can give it a title, call it Data Sets by Agency, and a short description. All right, so now we've got a short title, a description. We have the option here to change the color if we want. We can add labels. So if you click Show Value Labels, you can see that the bars will automatically have a label, which I think is helpful to help people quickly understand what they're looking at. You can add axis titles if you want. And one other thing we might want to do over here, there's the last icon here, lets us change the flyout unit label. So I'm going to change that to data set and data sets. Oops. That looks good. Great. So now the chart is, it's looking pretty good. We added a title, we updated the label. So now if you're logged in, you should be able to save your chart. So you can do that by clicking the Save Draft button in the bottom right of the screen. It's going to ask you to name your visualization. So we can just call it Datasets on data.ct.gov by agency and click Save. And then it might take a moment to load, but next it should take you to the draft page for the chart. And this is where you can sort of see how it will look when it's published. And then you can go ahead and publish the chart, which would allow you to do things like share it with other people. It'll have a link that you can send to others, or you can embed it in a website. So I'll click Publish. I'm going to keep it private for now. And there you go. So I hope now you have a better understanding of how to make charts on the Open Data Portal. Thanks so much for watching.